I love the Bond movies.
And ever thought of directing a Bond film?
I tried to direct a Bond film, and Cubby Broccoli wouldn't hire me. You know, I went to Cubby and I called him up on the phone, and I just said, I had done a couple of movies. I had just started out. I had actually done Jaws, and it was a big hit, and I thought, well, that'll convince him that I can direct a Bond picture. And I got him on the telephone, and I said, I really would love to do your next Bond picture. And he said, you're not experienced enough. You know, and he said, if we ever do one on the water, I'll call you. And so that was the end of that. And then a number of years later, after Close Encounters came out, you know, in Close Encounters, there's a 5-note sequence that the aliens send to us, and then we send those 5 notes back to the aliens. So Cubby was making Moonraker, and he wanted to use the 5-note sequence as a parody on Close Encounters in the Bond film. But he needed my permission. So he called me, got me at the office, and he asked if he could use those 5 notes. And I immediately said yes, and then I said, do you have a slot open? I've made 2 huge hits, Jaws and Close Encounters. I got nominated for Oscars on both films. And he said, did you win? I said, no. He said, well, no. No, not this time. Later, I'm making a movie in 1986. I was the second unit director, and I produced a movie which I wrote the story. Dick Donner was the director. It was called The Goonies. Mm-hmm. And in the film, a kid who loved the James Bond films plays the James Bond theme on a little ghetto blaster he's wearing around his neck, across his chest. But I needed the rights to the Bond theme. And Cubby said no. And I said, Cubby, I gave you free of charge the 5 notes from Close Encounters of Their Kind. He said the Bond theme is 7 notes. But he eventually finally gave me that. So that was my consolation prize. He would never hire me to do Bond, no matter how successful my career. He would never let me in the front door, but I got the notes for free. Yeah.